Okay, switch statement, there is an example for. So let's start from here. So this one is the first one. So what is this? So this example is important for you because there is nested if statement. There are nested if statements together with defining the variables. I don't know how many of you are thorough of this concept. How many of you are really able to create the variables in? So this is Eclipse. Let me create a project. Like all this project as if else test. Okay, finish. Yeah, module if else, and then so I need to. I think it's okay, fine. So I'm going to create a package that is also if else test. Maybe you can change. People right here, com dot if else dot something like that. I don't think that. And then let me go and create a class. So I think so. All of you are thorough of these aspects. I don't need to. So the class is going to be if else test, and then this is going to have the main class, right? And then finish. So we got the class. Now here there is no main class. It seems like main class. So there is a class. Here I call the class as if else test like this, and here the class is like. I don't know where should I use. Where can I increase the font size? Is it in properties? I don't know. Okay. So I call if else test here, and here it is number something like that. So public static void main. So here we got the main method, and inside the main method, so the very first step is going to be declaring the variables. So how many variables we have? N1, N2, N3, and then largest number. The largest number is going to pick the largest number. So double, how can we double? N1 is some number. Maybe I call 2, and then N2 is 2, and then N3 is some 3, and the last one is the largest number as a result, whatever it is. Okay. Oh, I called it as double, but it I call it as, so if I use the double here, I need to use some float 1, something like that, 2.1. Now it will not show you the L otherwise. So I defined it as double, but I was using usually in other languages it will not throw. So the first loop is going to be this one. If N1 greater than N2, else. There are 2 here. You have to be cautious. If N1 greater than N2, and then else. So in if you got if else, in else you got if else. There are 2. If N1 greater than N2, else N2 greater than N3. And in the first if we have N1 greater than N3, and else we have N2 greater than N3. Okay, so else you don't have. If N1 greater than N2, else. In N1 greater than N2, N1 greater than N2, greater than or equal to N2, N1 greater than or equal to N3. So N1 is compared with both N2 and N3. And else statement, you got N2 compared with N3. So in first, so let's start if N1 greater than or equal to N2, and then block starts. In this, we got again if N1, same N1 greater than or equal to N3. So 2 of the comparisons are over. N1 is compared against N2 and N3. So what is left now? N2 need to be compared with N3. So let's see. Okay. So if that is satisfied, then we are going to print the system out println. I don't know if it works or not, but I'm just doing it. Largest. But we can just simply print the number, but for decoration, largest number. By the way, yesterday there was a bit of discussion regarding this. N1 is the largest number, and then here else comes, okay, and else if, which one we need to compare, n2 greater than or equal to n3. So here n1 is compared against n2, n1 is compared against n3. The comparison remains between n2 and n3. If n3 is greater than n3, then we need to print system out ln, and then largest number is n2. Then it should be n2. So here it should come n2. Else, just print the last one. So this if, this else, this if, and then this here if else. So if this is violated, then n3 should be the largest number. That is the last one. If else, in this else, we are going to out print ln, and then largest number is going to be n3. n3. So the first check is for n1, second check is for n2, third check is for n3. So how are we going to determine n1? We are going to compare n1 against n2, n1 against n3. If n1 is greater than or equal to n2, both n2 and n3, then n1 is the biggest number or largest number. And then there is one comparison left remain, that is n2, n3. We need to take a call whether it might be that n2 can be. So if n2 is greater than, so then n2, otherwise it lost. If all these or these conditions fails, then the final one default is going to be n3. So this is how there aren't any. Actually, there is a variable called I created result, but I have not used it. Right? Result is equal to here something largest number is equal to n1. So finally here it is. Let's see. So I'm not using like this. So I delete. I don't know. I changed the logic. Let me see. I don't have it requires me if else if, and then it come out of all the first if అనుకుంటాను. First if else ఈ else లో వస్తుంది అంటే ఇక్కడంతా కూడా it's okay. So control F11. So the largest number is 3.1 exactly, right? So now let me use 4 here and see what's going to happen. The largest number is 4.1. So this time I'll just go here and keep 6. The largest number is 6.1. So algorithm is working. So what is the difference between the original example and my example? Here, whatever there is an additional variable, that is largest number, that I didn't use. I just used this print statement. There are different types of print statements: print ln, print f, and print. There are 3 types of. I didn't discuss with you print f and print statements. I just suppose if you use result, okay, result or largest number, whatever it is, you don't need to I just so control // if you use control // that particular line will be commented. So I commented that line by using the shortcut buttons control // now result is equal to n2, no n1. So ఇక్కడ కూడా control / and then so result is equal to n2. So ఇవన్నీ కూడా అంటే I'm teaching you as if you don't know anything about Java. Maybe a couple of people might be knowing Java, but you just have to listen patiently. So assume that I'm also assuming that I don't know anything about Java. n3. And now see this is where is the, so we can just come out of so if I press this one is if block and else block is this one. Okay, so there are 2 left remain. Here you see just before here the print statement comes. I'm just coming out of this if statement here. See here. See, one technique is you see all of them are parallel. So if I want to know where this if is going to end, this one, why? Because this if is parallel to this curly brace. Then when if I print anything here, and that will not be within this if else block, it will be out of the if else block. I'm coming out of if else block. System out print ln, and then the largest number is result. So here it is just going to be F చూద్దాం ఇప్పుడు వరకు నేను చూడలేదు. The largest number is percentile D, and here it is going to be M3. Here is something else. Okay. Now I think everything. So printf. So here what happens, the largest number is, this is going to be a statement. I don't know, I'm just doing this. I don't know whether it is possible or not. So here control F11. Okay, there is a problem. Main Java lang double. Okay, so here it is telling me that you cannot use, why can't I use, I can use percentile F, and also let me use, okay. So now control F11, yes. The largest number is 3.1 now. How is it possible? It cannot be 3.1, right? It should be 6.1. Oh. Result. What is the problem here? Initialize. Okay. It's fine. Yeah, 6.1, the largest number. So what was the mistake I did? Actually, I was referencing an integer but not the float value. So I was putting D here and it was not working. So here there is println. Println is print in new line, something like that. Print in line. This is also possible. Like, you can just use percentile N, and I think that will go to the new line, I guess. No, it's not going to the new line. I don't know. In many of the examples, I do so. So it is not D, it should be F. So whenever you use double, it should be, I thought the double refers to D. No, it's not like that. D stands for integer. I mean, D should be used along with the integer. So what we did here, I created some variables. And in Eclipse, you need to initialize this. Okay, you can also put it as okay, null. So even if you don't initialize, Eclipse will let you know that you need to. So there is if else, and in if there is if statement. And see, actually, if you look at this logic, I could have done else here. I don't know. I could have done else here, and I could have taken the result else if. But the problem is why I didn't use else here, else block. I didn't use else block here. You know why? Because there are two different values. See, if we are comparing only two values, I could have written else here and could have written the other. But whereas three values here, that is actually the complexity in the program. Okay, this program is a bit complex because we have three values. Okay, so this is how we do the. This is if else test, and this is actually not if else test. This is a nested if else test. Nested if test. Okay. Hello, are you all there, guys?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes,
good,
sir.
Good. Now let's go to the ternary operator, and here there is an example. So what is there in if else? There is double data variable and there is a result. So the result is, this is actually the advantage of, we don't need to use if else and all. So instead of, if this is the logic, suppose if you want to, instead of implementing this logic, I mean, instead of using if else statement, we can finish the entire logic within a statement. Okay, if the number is greater than 0, something, see, I create a class. Okay, this class I call it as ternary operator. So if, because ternary operator, there are many examples. Now here what happens, I have to use okay, so what are there is one variable which is double number is initialized. You may not, it doesn't matter. And then result. Okay, and again I think result should be okay 10.0, result should be initialized. We need to initialize. Even if we don't do that, Eclipse will let us know that now result is equal to result is equal to so this is a number. If number greater than 0, then colon comes question mark, colon comes in between. Print it is positive. It is not going to print positive colon negative negative, and then we can close the statement. This is just going to positive, negative. I don't know why this is showing me. So okay, fine. So system out print ln, and then here we put. I just simply put result here. Result. What is the problem here? I think we have not add cast to string. Okay. That is so there actually it was string. That is the problem. So why it need to be string? Because we are not passing any control F11 positive. Now you can just write anything and everything here. The given number, I just want to is positive. Just going to this, or you can also use the other. The given number is positive. So now suppose if I put minus. Okay, and F11, the number is negative. If we use 0, let's see, the number is negative. R is equal to, that is actually greater than 0, and okay, don't ask me that. Okay, that is actually going to be, we need to go again into different. So that comes here. So 0 means, suppose if we have 0, then that comes here. Expression, question mark. Is it question? Yeah, question mark. Here let me positive and then expression greater than 0 positive. Then if number less than 0, then it is negative. Then else 0. If greater than 0 positive, else greater than less than 0 negative, else 0. Okay, that is written. Now it is 0. Okay, now 10, it's positive. So something like that. I'm just playing, okay? Minus 2, it's negative. So this is how ternary conditions works. Ternary operations in ternary conditional statements. Not an operator actually. Ternary operator is a plus plus minus minus. It's actually wrong. I should not say operator. It should be ternary conditional statements. Not even ternary conditional statements. I'll let you know what exact name for it. But in Java, I think somewhere it's okay, fine. I don't like to waste my time. So I explained you nested if statement. If statement, I don't need to do that because you can do it. That's very easy. I explained you nested if statement, and then I explained you the ternary conditional statements, both single statement, multi-statement logic, and then we are going for the switch statements. So anybody, if you have doubts till here, if statement, nested if, ternary conditional statements. Any questions? if you don't have the questions, I'll just go ahead. I'll go ahead and finish because it is my responsibility. I have to execute and show you. So unless if it is unless otherwise required. This is if else. So this is actually the format for the multiple ternary control statements. If expression, then do something. Else if, else. Otherwise, it is else if something. So let me close this. Now switch statements. So very easiest way of this is actually very interesting, and it saves a lot of time. See how many conditions are there. There is a loop here actually. If you this is actually a combination of this statement together with I can't say while, but so that's why you don't have in one of the languages you don't have R లో while ఉంది for ఉంది if ఉంది R లో switch ఉంది but Python లో switch statement లేదు. Yes, I think in Python you don't have the switch statement. We use dictionaries. Switch in Python. Unlike every other programming language. Hello, are you all there, guys?
Yes, sir.
This is very important. Actually, in every programming language, you got while statement. Like I'll show you. While loop or statement, whatever it is. While loop in OR. See, do while loop with examples. Or while loop. There is while loop. In C, there is while loop in C. Syntax of while loop for the C. In Java, there is while loop. Java while loop is a control. But in Python, you don't have while loop. That's actually, I was really surprised. I surprised when I came to know that, while loop in Python. Python lo while loop ఉండదు. With the while loop, we can execute a set of statements, and but that is not there in Python. What is the while loop in Python? While loop in Python. While text expressions. What is the while loop in Python? Syntax for while loop. Is it? I don't know. While I greater than less than. Oh, Python lo while loop in there. I thought we use dictionaries in Python. Okay, fine. Okay, unlike every other programming language we use, Python does not have switch. I'm sorry. While loop is there. I'm confusing. While loop is there in Python, but switch statement is not there. Switch statement is not there. Switch in OR. So there a switch ఉంటుంది. Switch case statement is there in OR. అలానే C లో కూడా ఉందనుకోండి, తెలియదు నాకు. Because switch statement allows C లో కూడా ఉంది. అలానే ప్రతి స్టేట్మెంట్ లో కూడా స్విచ్ ఉంటుంది అనమాట. లైక్ జావా అంటే మీకు కనిపిస్తుంది. But only in Python you don't have switch statement. See, unlike every program we use, Python does not have the switch and case statement. To get usually what happens is we need to write our own function. Python ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఆ స్విచ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దాన్ని మనం ఒక డెఫినేషన్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలి. We can write just like these are all actually functions. If statement అవన్నీ కూడా ఇంటర్నల్ గా these are all some functions. So in Python what happens, we'll try to create, anyway this is not a Python thing, but I just wanted to, I thought of this like so in switch statement what happens is this is a loop. There is a loop, and this loop is a can a switch the syntax for the switch statement goes like this. We need to have an expression, a condition, or a variable, and this variable expression will match with one of the switch heads, cases, one of the cases, and then if that match or if the logic flows through that case, then the statements which were defined under that case will be executed subsequently. So that is actually, this saves a lot of time. So let's do this example. I'm interested to do this. I don't know how many, maybe you people might be getting bored by my practice, but I like this. I like to do whenever I want. So learning happens only through practicing, and please be cautious. Learning happens only through practice, not by listening, not by talking. Only by practice you can develop the learning. Switch, test, and then main. And here, what are we going to do? We're just going to define a variable. So variable is going to be, so what is this use case? This is about a day, int week and string day. So day will return a string, and the int will be useful as int week. It's not week actually, int number random. Okay, so this is just going to be, for time being, it's going to be some random number, and then string is going to be result, is going to be day. Day is equal to, right now it is, that's it. So we don't need to, so switch, and then condition. The condition is going to be number, and then case 1. So if that is going to be, I think we can also, it is also possible to put a block here, I guess. I don't know. I think you try once. For time being, I can also try that. So here what day is going to be, this is going to return Sunday. Is the very first, it is 1. Now what happens, I'll just copy everything. మీరు ఇవన్నీ చేయాలండి, చూడడానికి చాలా సిల్లీగా అనిపిస్తాయండి. All these things, you know, they look like silly things, but you know, you have to do. మీకు ఎప్పుడు, when are you going to break? Break. మీరు ఎప్పుడు డెమో ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు లేదా, then you will understand, oh, I've done a mistake, I could have, so this cannot be Sunday, this can be Monday. So the mistake is because 2. చూడండి, చూసారా ఎన్ని చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అది, but you see how many mistakes I am doing, how many mistakes. Case assert expected, syntax error, case assert expected, assert expected, F2 for focus. What is the mistake I am doing? See how is actually correct. ఎందుకు ఏదో క్రియేట్ చేసి మీకు ఏదో సంథింగ్ I was trying to tell you, but ఇదేంటిది, this should be here. Then why this is showing me code disturb అయింది? Somewhere I disturb the code, week num, and then solve the case. What is this nonsense? This is showing me, okay. Anybody remember, anybody recognize where is the mistake? I don't know, I'm not able to find the mistake, but Tuesday, చిన్న example కదా, చూడండి how I am suffering.
So there should be another curly closing bracket.
Okay, that is for the class. Okay. Okay, ma, thank you. Okay, now let's 4. This is 4. This is going to be Wednesday. And this is 5. This is going to be Thursday. This is Friday. And this is going to be 6. Last one is going to be Saturday. 7 is Saturday. Actually, ఇలా ఉండదు. not like this. Actually, we don't need to struggle like this. There are inbuilt data types. For dates, we can just simply. So I think now the code is okay. So we got the variables here, and then there is a switch case statement in which we got. So based on this number, it is going to retrieve. Oh, we're not printing anything. Okay, default. Default is invalid day. So here we have to come default system printer day is equal to invalid input breaker. Then we will come out of this switch statement system out print ln only print ln. Then for time being, I'll just put date and then enter. Tuesday. Something wrong here. Tuesday. I did wrong in Tuesday. The day is if percentile D is come on big control F level and then this is going to be string and the day for Tuesday is Tuesday. Day for D I and then number is percentile. Yes. The day for 3 is Tuesday, something like that. So percentile D, percentile S. None. No. So it is not possible to make them triples, I guess. So it doesn't matter how many percentiles you have in the given statement, but now see that each percentile has got notation has got variable to pass with. You should be able to pass value for each percentile letter type of thing. So here percentile D is for the integer and percentile S is for the day. Day is a string. So this is how switch string. See how many mistakes I've done. I've done so many mistakes. I don't know. So we think that we know everything. Only by listening, hearing, speaking, you don't get anything. You have to practice. You already practiced, isn't it? I practiced it, but last year. I practiced it last year, but this year I forgot everything. The one fundamental thing is I never prepared for the class. That's okay, fine. So now this is a calculator. Okay, we'll do the last one, this one. I think we still have the 5 minutes. I'll just do, it is the biggest, one of the big, so I go to the new class and then calc, okay, main. And then here, what are we going to do? We have a character for operator and then a scanner and then operator as well as double. We have double types. Number one, we are giving two numbers and one result, one operator. So they are actually the char. Okay, character, operator, and then double num1, comma num2, and then result. Variables are over. Now we need to define a scanner. So it will చూడండి ఏమవుతుందో నేను స్కానర్ అని డిఫైన్ చేసేస్తాను scanner sc is equal to new scanner then scanner inside here we need to put system.in. This is going to be input stream. Now you see there is so when you keep your cursor on this, it will import scanner. So here automatically your Eclipse is going to import this scanner. So you don't need to worry about all these imports. That is one of the advantages in Eclipse, using Eclipse. Now we are just going to return a statement system out print ln, and this is going to be operator please, and then we can also give some hints so that people will not write anything and everything for their wish. Okay, so like that we can just so now what happens? Okay, operator once they so now whatever the input is given by the, we need to scan that. Okay, operator, we are going to scan it into the variable operator. So where is this variable? Here it is, this one, operator scanner next int scan sc this sc is nothing but this one sc next here actually it is just a next, I guess, because next int next ఇప్పుడు suppose after you write like sc dot అలా వస్తుంది అనమాట n చూడండి next a string next pattern string pattern next big decimal ఇవన్నీ కూడా these are all actually the options. So what we need is char. Is there anything called char here? No. A B C లేదు చూడండి, char లేదు, byte ఉంది, double ఉంది, float int, but actually next అంటే string తీసుకోవాలి. Okay, it is not going to be the string, it is going to be a character. That is why what we do is we put next char చూడండి అలా వచ్చేస్తుంది, మీరేమి, so this comes automatically. So index ఏంటంటే 0. So Java index starts with 0. Whatever the first input, that is what it. Then system out print ln. Here it is going to enter number 1 and number 2. So both of the numbers we are enter number 1, number 2 respectively. So immediately those two numbers will next double enter numbers. So ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి మనం? We have to, is not required, enter numbers until that's it. That is not ఇప్పుడు we need to read those numbers. Num1 is equal to scanner next double. Now same scanner next double. So we got the operator as well as numbers. So now we are ready for the switch. Now what is the operator here? Based on operator, go for the build the case operator. If it is plus, okay, if it is plus, it is going to be the character, right? So if it is plus, then result is equal to num1. Where did we read the numbers? Num1 and num2. And then break. Now copy all this. Okay, num2, the num1 and the channel. So copy all this. Hey, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all of them. So here minus. This is going to be minus. And here multiply. And here it is going to be multiplied. Now divided by. This is going to be divided by. But here, yeah, double. So we don't have any problem because we see this division and multiplication is what you should be very careful. Plus and negative, it even takes, you can take care of them with the help of the integer. But if you have multiplication and division, you need to, nothing is going to happen, but you need to pass. It will just ask you, do you like to pass? If you do that mistake, Eclipse will let you know. Now come out of the switch statement, system out print ln. Now let us result. So this is just going to print the results. Now what is the problem with the result? Initialize. Okay. Here it is telling me that I have to put null, null null. Okay, now it is asking me, do you want to what? Addition. Enter numbers. So think okay, 1 enter, 2 enter, 3. like that. Actually, enter number here, it should be like this. Now, once again, so what is the operator? So multiplication. Okay, enter numbers. 2. This time, what I do is 3.5, 7. That's it. So that's going to be the result. So here, mano, operator so we can design. You can design the output like it is a multiplication. The result of the multiplication is the result of the atla. Ala kuda ikkada string. You can just create the string and then. So this is all about now. The time is 55. So in this class, what did I do? Maybe somebody from the class can tell me what is the learning from this class. Who is this, Ikshita?
Sir, yes, sir. We practiced nested if, switch.
One thing, another, you forgot one thing.
Okay, switch.
Ternary
Operator.
Ternary is not, ternary operator. Actually, it should be ternary control statement, ternary statements. So I also described, I demonstrated actually. Okay, we discussed as well as I gave you a demo as how to use the nested if with the help of an example, and also ternary control statements with the help of and as well as the switch statement. As for related to the switch statement, we had 2 examples. One is finding the weekdays, and then calculations, arithmetic calculations. So these are all what we discussed in this. So is it clear, all of you?